Hey everyone, welcome to the world of solid principles. In this video, we are going to write a code without following interface segregation principle, and then we'll see what kind of problem occurs and how this principle solves that problem. So let's begin. Consider a scenario where we are writing our core application layer and we decided to create an interface iPayment which exposes two simple contracts, charge and refund. We then created the first implementation of iPayment, which is Google Pay. Google Pay implements charge and refund method in its own way. The upper layer of the application started using this core layer implementation of iPayment, and everything was working fine. Then, one day, we found another payment provider, PayPal, which not only does charging and refund, but it also detects the fraud credit cards. And we decided to integrate this PayPal provider into our application. So we went ahead to modify our iPayment contract, and we added a new method declaration, fraud check. The next step was to create a PayPal provider which implements our iPayment contract and defines the behavior for charging, refunding, and doing a fraud check. Well, this was very easy. Now the business, whenever needs a fraud check, can start using PayPal provider. And if not, can still continue to use Google Pay provider. But wait, we were too selfish to look at PayPal provider that we forgot what will happen to our Google Pay provider. Since Google Pay implements the same iPayment contract, now it also must define the behavior for fraud check. But hey, what if Google Pay doesn't support fraud check? You will end up by doing a fake implementation of fraud check inside Google Pay, where you will always return that this credit card is not a fraudulent because you never know how to check that. Or you might decide to throw an exception saying, I don't know how to do that. In any case, you are implementing the contract in a fake way because you have been forced to do so. And that is definitely not a good design. Now, since you understand the problem we are facing, you should be able to understand the definition of interface segregation principle, which clearly indicates that an entity should never be forced to fulfill an interface contract. Let's try to rethink our problem with respect to this principle. The root cause of this problem was that we assume fraud check functionality will be offered by all payment providers. We didn't even thought about what kind of providers our application can have. And that is where our assumption went wrong. Considering the fact that not all payment providers support fraud check, the better idea was to have a separate interface, iFraud check, which supports the fraud check contracts. This will ensure that the payment providers will continue to support the core functionality of charging and refunding. And if any provider wants to support fraud check, it can implement iFraud check interface. Which means now Google Pay provider doesn't have to worry about defining a fake implementation of fraud check. It is just implementing the iPayment contract with the core functionalities of charging and refunding. And the PayPal provider will implement iPayment interface as well as iFraud check interface, where it will define the core functionalities of charging, refunding, as well as fraud check. And this is the beauty of interface segregation principle. The code is now much clean and better to understand. And most importantly, nobody is forced to implement an interface. Now you may have an interesting question that hey, if we have iPayment interface and if we want to apply interface segregation principle, should we just split iPayment into two separate interfaces? Like one I charge and another one I refund? That's a good question. But you must understand that nothing has to be followed blindly. Before I answer your question, you must understand that an interface is an agreement or a contract that you create so that whoever implements it must define that contract. Now coming back to your original question, try to ask this question to yourself first. Does your core domain expect that all the payment providers that wants to integrate into your application, should they provide the charging and refunding behavior at any cost? If the answer to this question is yes, which means your business, your application demands that all payment providers must define these two behaviors. And if any provider doesn't define it, you will not be able to use that provider, or you will not allow that provider to integrate into your application. And that is what your business contract says. So with respect to that, you can either go for creating two different interfaces if charging and refunding are optional, or you can go by creating a single interface maintaining charging and refunding to all payment providers. As that. Well, I hope the principle was clear. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe to this channel. If you have any questions or suggestions about the current topic or upcoming topic, please feel free to comment. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you so much.